got it. Okay.
All right. So are you okay, go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, this week we're talking about self-awareness, and I'm gonna let Erica take it off and start it off with what it means to her, and then I'll circle back.
So we're reading the book, 12 and a Half by GaryVee or Vaynerchuk, I think that's how to say it. But anyway, so around self-awareness, and just to kind of like go over it pretty much, in my opinion, or what I grabbed from it was you kind of got to know like your limits. You kind of got to be in tune with yourself. And I think it's like, in order to be in tune with yourself, I think that you have to have, like you have to be able to discern when you need to address mental health things, and implement some self-love, and just take some time out to get some clarity on things, because sometimes the world moves fast, so you got to know when to take a step back. But ultimately, I mean, all of those are like the little things that go into self-awareness, but I think ultimately what it comes down to is knowing that that old saying, you can't teach a fish how to climb a tree, because like you can't do it all. For example, like if you have to know that what you're not, what you don't have a good skill set at. Like for example, if my skill set is not writing, and maybe that's not the role I should want to, I should be pressing hard to. I should be putting a lot of my, like when you're taking, okay, I'm sorry, I don't mean to ramble, but but you're taking like the SAT or the PSAT, or one of those two. I never took it, but my kids had to prep for it. But anyway, like when you're prepping for one of those, like, how you have to go through the questions and you only answer the questions that you're good at, like you only answer the questions that you know, because if you waste time on the questions that you don't know, or answering them wrong, that's going to impact your score. But if you would have skipped that question and went on to something that you do know, then that gives you a chance of having a higher score. And I think that that's kind of like the same with what he was trying to make a point with self-awareness and entrepreneurship and things like that. You got to know your strengths and you got to know your weaknesses. And the only way to do that is to be in tune with yourself. And if you're not in tune with yourself and you think that you can handle it all, and you're trying to wear all these hats, and you're just like going to start poking holes in your ship, it's going to start to sink.
Yeah, that's real. That PSAT example is great. Like that was a great analogy. Yeah, man, that was great. I feel like for me, yeah, you got to know, like you said, what it is you're good at. Otherwise, you're going to waste your time. And I think you got to really be honest to like add to that. You got to be really honest with your ego. It's like sometimes we want to be really good at things, but if you're not honest with yourself about what it is you're not good at, then you won't be able to be truly self-aware. And so it's like, you got to know what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses, which is one of the things that I highlighted in here, which he says, acknowledging your weaknesses and then starting to navigate around them. You need to be capable enough, and then more interested in taking your strengths to the moon, and tripling down on what you're naturally good at. And so for me, I would say, like, I realized even in my social media agency, like, I'm like, I don't like the day-to-day. Like, I could do the graphic design and stuff like that, but it doesn't bring me joy. It's not the most productive way to spend my time. Yeah, like what I'm really good at, what I'm passionate about is the strategy. Like, come on, you know what I'm saying? And so I put people in my team around me to make sure that they can, execute in those ways and that they're organized. Cause like I consider myself an organized person, but then my team needs to be even more organized, because then they'll come to me and they'll be like, Brittany, you should do this. Remember you're doing this. I'm like, oh yeah, I have 1,000 reminders that I think are keeping me on track, but it's good to have that, you know what I'm saying? Just to, have people around you who are almost better at you than not almost, but better at you than something else, so that, you know what I mean, you can bring yourself and your company up as a whole, and then likewise. And so we actually do these things called skill shares, where it's like the things that we are good at, you can take a video and record yourself doing it so that you can share with the rest of the team, so that we can like, because you got videos on YouTube, but it's good to hear like from a perspective of somebody else from your, company, from a coworker. And so, yeah, I really do see how self-awareness can play a part in becoming your best self in general, but your business self as well.
And then like, that's not to take away from, you know, like the people in their beginning, you know, like everybody, like when you're first starting out, you kind of have to wear the same, you know, all the hats, but then you have to know too, that when you get to a point where you're able to scale or able to, you know, like, you know, hire someone like, for example, like you, okay. So like, for example, I don't know how to build, I'm not very tech savvy. I mean, I'm not turning the computer on, how to use it, you know, but as far as like putting together a website, I don't know how to do that. So I was going to try, but I didn't, you know, like I outsourced for that. So that's like a good example, but yeah. So yeah, like being in tune with self and knowing that what you're good at and what you're not good at. And also just like, I'm sorry, my dog is like having a
I can't even hear him. It's okay.
Cool. That's why I'm like, a really nail storm. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, like, yeah, I mean,
yeah, you made a good point where it's like how you outsource for the website. Like, also, time is of the essence. You know what I'm saying? It's the most important thing. It's more important than money because it's what gives you the ability to make money. You know what I mean? And so I feel like, yeah, I could take the time to, for example, go build a website, but I'm probably going to take 12 to 24 hours when a person who knows exactly what they're doing will take 2. And guess what? I only got to charge it for 2 hours, 2 at that, because they know what they're doing. So yeah, it's like, you got to think smarter in that sense of like, it's probably best if I just outsource and get somebody else. Yeah. Yeah. This, let me see, we'll make this one like a 10-minute one. So we'll do like 5 more minutes. But I really want to, let's go ahead and hop over into the next chapter. And we can, let me see. What is that? Accountability. Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
That
is a huge one. And what's so crazy, he mentioned self-awareness being like his first, you know, like that's what he would address first if he was like the FDA of, you know, of emotions, or, you know, like getting this world in order. But it's crazy to me because I was like, self-awareness is, but accountability is huge.
Yeah. It is. I highlighted this here where he says, every issue in my life is 100% my fault. It excites me to know that nobody else is in control. If I created the issue, then I have the problem to fix it. If I didn't create the issue and it's bigger than me or purely circumstantial, I still decide how I absorb it, which goes to perspective. Yeah, that's killer. Like, I don't think it's something that is talked about a lot too. It's like, yeah, a lot of people play the blame game, and it's like at the end of the day, ultimately, like, it's up to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's your doing, and I love the fact that it gives you control. I love that. It's like, yeah, if I just put it on me, not in a burden way, right? Because you get to choose how you absorb it, but like in a way that's like, you own up to it and you get to navigate from there. That's powerful, you know, like, yeah.
Yeah, like I agree with that. Like being accountable for knowing, okay, I guess I see where the self-awareness has to come first, because if you're not self-aware, then you wouldn't be able to touch, you know, your accountability. Like that makes sense. But yeah, like you have to know that everything that happens is like, I hate to go back to is like cause and effect. So like if you're putting in the work, then you'll probably get something out of it. And sometimes it may not be exactly what you wanted, but then you have to kind of go through those, like, for example, like, I don't want to use that, but anyway, okay, so like you go through situations where the outcome could have been differently had there been a quicker action taken, but there wasn't a quicker action taken. So with that being said, now you have to work in the moment. You can't dwell on the fact that the action wasn't taken at that time. Now you have to worry about getting it done in the moment. So like that's where accountability comes in. So you have to be like real clear. You know what I mean? Like I can
Mm-hmm.
play the blame game all day. I can say, oh, it's your
Yeah.
fault, it's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault. Oh, you didn't get that done, it's your fault. Or we didn't do this, it's your fault. But at the same time, if that's an avenue that can be taken and it can take up so much time. But if you could just center yourself and realize that, okay, well, what can I do right now in
Mm-hmm.
the moment? Like what can I do to fix this problem? Okay, this is the problem at hand. Where's the solution? Because we can
Mm-hmm.
dwell on how it became a problem in the first place, or we can get past
Yeah.
it and start figuring out a solution. That way
Mm-hmm.
we're not being held up any longer. Because like you can waste years in business,
Yeah.
you can waste relationships, you can waste time in
Mm-hmm.
everything, in every part of your life if you don't have that accountability. Like even if it's a bad thing, take it, hold it. It's okay, it happened. It probably
Yeah.
something you did probably
Accept it.
triggered that bad thing. But
Mm-hmm.
now, what are you gonna do? What can you do to fix it? You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? So,
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah,
but
no, that's
I
real.
don't
That's
know.
spot on. I love that. Yeah, I agree with everything you just said. And also, like, another part that I highlighted, he was like, you might be able to trick certain people by deflecting accountability, but you can't trick those with stronger emotional intelligence than you. That's real. Like, and I think a lot of people try to manipulate people in that aspect of like, you can get by, but and that goes to self-awareness and just mindfulness too in general. It's like, first being able to accept like I got to be myself and, accept myself in order to, interact with anybody genuinely. And yeah, he says people who have a strong, high EQ, so emotional intelligence, are typically the most like or most successful. And it really sucks if you can't win with that group. It's like, yeah, they'll be able to, sense that. And I feel like, it's just the real being able to tell the real from the fake. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, as long as you are honest with yourself, I think that's, taken care of, and being honest with yourself to be accountable. And then I also highlighted to them, it's obvious when you're passing blame. And it really is a bummer. Like, who wants to be that person? Like, you know what I'm saying? Who want, like, it don't even sit right with me. You know what I mean? Like, it really don't. And he says, unfortunately, many people would rather live their lives tricking other emotionally weak players, which I feel like those are a lot of those like scam artists, like, oof, get into the NFT space. A lot of people are missing out on the NFT space because they are sitting up here making a bad name for themselves or spending all of their time and effort trying to scam people and play into their emotions to try to get into their wallets and get to know them just so that
That
they can
part.
solely take. And it's like, that is such a short game. Like,
That part.
great, you got this off, but then this artist that you stole from is probably going to keep going and actually win. Even if you come back 10 years down the road and take more, whoever, it's the branding, the actual community, you know what I'm saying? That's the
You
win.
can
And
take
that's
the
the way you never fail. You know what I'm saying? You don't go out and rob. That's short term. Short
right.
term. Yeah. And that's those emotionally weak players trying to manipulate people. You know what I'm saying? That because, yeah, they don't hold themselves accountable of like, dang, if I actually was more patient, put in the work, that's supposed to be put in to take advantage of the technology, you're going to be fine. But yeah,
And
some
see,
people
like,
choose
and
to.
it's funny that you say, because like when I came into the space, like, okay, like when I first came into the space, I didn't know much about the space. I think I talked about this a little bit. So I was like just toying around and like trying to create stuff and all that stuff. And I didn't know like the rules or like the excuse my nails. But anyway, I didn't know like the rules or anything like that, or
Mhm.
so to speak. So yeah, I kind of moved a little fast. But yeah, like I think those that are genuine about actually learning it may have make mistakes, but at the same time, you know what I mean? Like, okay, so I'm just gonna be real candid here. I'm just gonna be
Mhm.
real candid. When I first started, I wanted to find out how to mint. So I took a picture off the
Mhm.
internet and minted it. Like I was trying to figure
Mhm.
out how to mint it and like
Mhm.
whatever. But it wasn't like a malicious type thing. It was more of a like, let me figure out how this technology works. And
How to
then as I
mint.
started sitting in the
Yeah.
rooms, I started realizing, I probably wasn't supposed to do that because I
Mhm.
actually wanted to learn the technology. It wasn't like I was
Mhm.
trying to
Profit truly off of
I was
something.
really trying to learn.
Mhm.
Don't get me wrong. I think
Mhm.
I probably did place it for sale. But again, it was part of the, I
It was
haven't
a
never,
minting process. Yeah.
yeah, I've never sold
Mhm.
anything, but have I sold anything that I've ever? No, I don't think so. But anyway, yeah. So like
Mm.
along with like with that, like I know that that was, I guess that falls into like an accountability thing. 'Cause like I know that that
Mhm.
wasn't the best behavior in hindsight after I found out stuff.
In
But at
hindsight,
that time,
yeah.
my whole purpose was to learn how to do the technology. Like
Yeah.
I'm still here a year later because that's what I'm, you know what I'm saying? That was my
Mhm.
whole goal. I wasn't trying to move like, let me steal this person's work. You know what
Right,
I
right,
mean?
right, right, right. Exactly. And because that was your
But you'll be able
intention.
to discern those type of people, like you said,
Mhm.
like even the more you have interaction with them, those who are in it for malicious reasons shy off and become,
Yeah.
like, in the shadows or whatever the case may be. And I kind of seem like I'm in the shadows sometimes. People like this. I seem like that, but I'm really just like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm super nervous about everything until I'm not. And then once I'm not, it's like, mm.
Mhm. 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 Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
That's a great point. Like, yeah, like for me, even from all the way back then, literally on my YouTube videos, I could be probably saying stuff that, yeah, my intention is to help and bring people into the community, but 9 times out of 10, yeah, the things that I said then, that was me entering into the space. God knows, like, what changes could have already been put in place, things that were okay then that are not okay. But a prime example is something that you were working with me on, where it's like, yeah, assets probably aren't the best way to go about it because it does look sketch. And so I didn't know that until like now I've come back around, come up with a new plan on how I'm going to do
oh,
that. And I also see that it's something that I got to do later. But I also see that it's something that costs a lot of money. And so it's just like a learning process. But as long as your intention is pure, like you can navigate around those things and like people will see it. I was also in a room yesterday where a person had came in, and this was with Natalie, Motivate, and Black Dave. And I was like, oh, I need to join this room more often
I
because
haven't been
like
in a room with them in so long. Like
in a long
I
time.
catch Motivate sometimes, but like Natalie, I haven't seen her in like ages, and it's like, what the
Mhm.
hell is she
They
doing?
come
But
on every Sunday.
I
Every
haven't
Sunday.
been very active actually.
Mhm.
Like when it comes to like, is it Clubhouse or Twitter?
They're on Twitter Spaces, but now people are starting to do smaller room. Like it's not the same. It's so cool, but it's like, oh, we were like at the beginning. You know what I mean? Because it's
Right.
totally different now. But yeah, they host rooms on different spaces. Host rooms on both Clubhouse and on Twitter Spaces. Yeah. Hmm.
And it's like,
So,
yeah.
what were you saying?
Oh no, I was gonna say like I said something about Natalie, but I haven't been in a room with Black Dave in a long time either.
Yeah.
And I know that he's really like doing like different stuff right now. And it's really crazy because it's like situations like, how should I be talking about this? But anyway, like for recording. But anyway, it's like situations like because you know how you don't want to come off like opportunistic, you know what I mean? Or whatever the case may
Yeah.
be.
Hmm.
Because I haven't been in spaces. I haven't been I guess mixing and mingling or what, you know what I mean? So it's like it does
Hmm.
come off like right now. My best friend's cousin, like he's been doing music for years and he wants to get into NFTs. And it's like first person I would have just like been like, you know what I'm saying? But then it's like I don't know. Like when I first came in, it was like, oh, I got a person like for like go here, go there, go there. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And now it's like I haven't been my accountability, like I haven't been
Hmm.
like active. So now it seems like a little
Yeah.
sketchy or,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, but it's okay. Like
one-sided.
I feel you. Yeah, it's like you just dip your toe back into that water. I was hesitant to come into the back into the NFT space too, but I was like, I would be berserk if I didn't. So I was like, let me just come in how I can. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
and so I just started doing what I did from the jump, which is just entering into the rooms and listening. I don't think, I did speak into a room not too long ago. Kwame had brought me up as a co-host because he was the only one hosting. And so, yeah, and I spoke in that room, but for the most part, like I will join in just to listen. And like, that's enough because that's what got me started in the first place. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
and that's
saying?
what I was thinking. Like
Yeah.
that's what I used to do in the beginning. I used to just join in and listen, join in and listen. But I
Mm-hmm.
guess a little piece of me is like kind of shaking on like which way, because it's like, okay, you've been listening long enough. Like at some point you gotta start doing, you know what I mean? And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Mm-hmm.
even know what to do. Like I know I know like the things is, I'm sorry, I don't mean to.
Yeah, no, I'm listening. Mm-hmm.
But like I know the things to say. I know like I'm very knowledgeable. I'm gonna say very knowledgeable that I could always learn more.
Mm-hmm.
But I know
But
like
knowledgeable enough, yeah.
basics of NFTs and stuff like that. So it's like I just feel like I should be doing more. And like what I'm doing right now is like I'm just still kind of floating. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
every time I turn around, I'm not doing enough, but I'm still learning. I feel like I'm taking more away than I'm giving back. So that puts me in a space of
Mm-hmm.
where I'm like feeling like a little guilty or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But
Then give back. I think no, I love this conversation. I think a lot more people, especially like when people are hearing this, especially from the NFT space who are beginners, because that's a lot of my audience. It's like you are an expert. Do you understand? Like the Gen Z, which they're probably already on. Let's get into Gen Alpha. Like they're going to need people to learn. There are people still teaching me about social media. You know what I'm saying? There's always something like GaryVee. Like there's always something to learn. And like, you listening and saying to just give back as best you can, as often as you can, that in a comfortable frequency, like an amount of time that is comfortable to you. But yeah, go ahead and do it. And yeah, just do your best. Like, and that'll be enough, and then something will come out of that because people are looking, watching, needing people. There are opportunities in the space,
and then you
just
know
not
what?
through art, but through like marketing and other things. Mhm.
Right. And you know what? I think because I haven't stepped very much out of my shell. And that's what I was telling my best friend the other day. It's like I feel like I've made a connection with so many people, but it's like something's missing. And I think what it
Mhm.
is that I'm very empathic. So it's like this audio and video kind of like it doesn't I'm missing. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't tell
People.
people if they're really being genuine because they're being genuine
Hmm.
or if they're, you know what I'm saying, or if they're,
Yeah,
just hold on a second. I'm sorry.
you do.
I'm sorry. My goddaughter was
Oh, you
leaving
good.
her mom, so she was like asking me. I'm like, no, not right now. But anyway, yeah. So, I forgot. I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought.
um, yeah, you can tell if people are being genuine.
I mean, I know that
Mhm.
for the most part, because like when I came into the space, everybody's really kind, nice, and so like I really do believe like people are being genuine, but at the same time, there's a disconnect for me personally because I'm used to touching and seeing, you know what I mean? Or,
Mhm.
being in a
Mhm.
room, noticing inflections. When we're in audio rooms, you don't really
You
know,
don't get to.
you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like, and then like me, because I'm like very, people, I really like I discern things off of people's inflections in their voices and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So sometimes maybe a waver in a voice or something like that could be, um,
Hmm?
goodbye.
Oh, okay.
But yes, I'm
I
sorry.
was like,
So, like it could be a little bit, like, but it may not even be that because I'm just hearing, you know what I mean? So to
mhm.
see, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't
it's a
know.
totally
And
different thing.
sometimes
Yeah.
I think that I have some underlying, this is like, so I know you can chop this up and like cut all this off.
No, you. I feel like it's all good to keep, girl.
But I have
It's
like some underlying, like I really, sometimes I think that I don't know, and I might not be, but because that's another reason why I'm into mental health because I think that our people get misdiagnosed a lot. And I honestly
Mhm.
believe because like right now, like because of where my charts say and with things that I've already been diagnosed with, a lot of people just run with that and go on with it. But I think that it's a lot more
Mhm.
to it. Also, and I've always expressed it, but then they always come back with the same thing. But
Mhm.
I think that I may be a slight in on the autistic spectrum because I have to have like my sensory, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like most
Mhm.
people they grasp things and they understand things and it's like it's cool for them and it's cool. Like right now I'm getting emotional because like it's so much I want. Girl, it's not supposed
Mhm. It's okay. I'm listening. You said what?
I said this is not supposed to be a therapy session.
It's
No, but
okay.
no, but like because like for example, like I don't know, I have to have the connection that I need to have is not happening the way like here. So like, for example, I think that once like I get into a situation where I'm meeting people in person, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I said I want to go to South by Southwest, because I know they have something coming up. They have something coming up, I think in March. But anyway, they plan on having like NFT crypto stuff there. And I was like, that's right up the street for me. You know, I could probably go there and get to know or run into somebody, or just, you know, just pop up and spend a couple of hours and then come back home, or, you know, run into somebody and then, you know, build, you know what I'm saying? Because then I have that. And for like with you, it's easier for me with you, because not only have we had that, like, you know, that online
personal connection. Yeah.
Took it to the next level. You know what I mean? And that probably wouldn't have happened given, you know, I don't know. But anyway.
Yeah, no, I feel it. I feel it. You are fine.
I feel like people, they read me. I'm sorry. I'm looking some tissue from my nose and it's starting to run. But I'm gonna come back with, I think people that they meet me or they hear me, they can, one would be quick to think that I'm full of shit or that I'm not, you know, genuine or whatever the case may be. But it's really me needing a better connection and what. But hold on.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, girl, I didn't mean to go all the way.
Yeah, it's welcome.
It
is welcome.
There's another she's a sweetheart, Valerie. I typically have like we've had more video calls, you know, stuff like that. And it's like I've done the same, like I don't know, something like so much stuff that I've been wanting to say, and then it's like I finally get it out.
Yeah. And I'm glad because we all need that. I think that what you're feeling, meaning like, you know, as far as the NFT space goes, like that's exactly what I felt. And I was like, you know, as soon as I started to like go back in different rooms, they would recognize me and say, oh, it's Brittany from, you know, she helped me into, and that was really, really cool because it was like, wow, I did, you know, help someone. And I know you have helped someone, you know what I mean? People are going to start to recognize you from your TikToks, from your Instagram, like in times from when you were like, and I think no time is better than now than to get in and get started because I can hear it is what you want to do, which is just enter back into the space. And, you know, I think that as far as a personal connection goes, like maybe you need to think about hosting like an Eventbrite thing, which doesn't have to be of charge, but like for Dallas locals who are interested in the NFT space, I bet people would come. You know what I'm saying? Could start off as a small group. They'd invite their friends, but like, and then you record that and put that up on content, the discussion about NFTs, whatever it is that you discuss in that time. But like, you can still get that all to say. And then like you mentioned, you know, people not, you know, thinking that you're genuine or stuff like that. Like, and I think that just goes back to you needing that personal connection, you know what I mean? And so you're not getting it, and that's what you get from other people through when that's not there. Yeah, and so it kind of comes around like that. But I think you can make it happen in Dallas, you know what I'm saying, in person. And then also don't underestimate the value that you've already given and who you are in the NFT space already to just be able to.
And that's another thing. Like, I'm talking like I've gotten a lot of, like, for example, like right now, like I'm in, like I moderate for the VDAO community, and there's another project, Magic Minds, that I'm working on. But I just feel like I don't know. It's just like I'm not doing, and maybe it's just a me thing.
What do you want to do?
I know, right? Like that's the all-time question. Why? You know, like. What's your, you know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, like, I know my whole goal but it's like, I'm kind of past that now. Like, I know the basics of technology. Like, the whole reason why I was interested in the NFT space, because the first thing that I saw was my nonprofit. The first thing I saw was the scooter company. It was like, okay, well, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can really, you know, integrate that technology early now, and, you know,
Your mic is cut out a little bit. Your mic, a little.
can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can hear you. That's better. Okay, I can hear
Okay.
you. Hmm.
But yeah, so like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Like
Hmm. I think,
I feel like I could be doing more, but then at the
yeah, you
same
want to be
time it's
doing
like
your
I'm not
project
enough.
too. Yeah, I think you want
You
to
know?
be doing your project too, which I
Yeah.
think you just start off small and you come out. You know, you mention it, you bring it up. Like my project, I'm literally developing it in front of everybody. I did not know what I was doing, and like it's gonna evolve over time and it'll be fine. Like, but it had to happen. I had to get started on it. Because otherwise what did you say? I think you want to be doing your project a little bit more. And I think if it was just out there, you set a reminder to touch back on it every week, posting about it, whatever it is in the process. Because I honestly only work on my project on Wednesdays, and then I'll go record some content on Sundays for 2 hours. And Wednesdays, I'll go hard for like 2 to 3 hours. I got a chance to finally paint the first piece, some of the first piece here, right here. And that was it. And so it's like little by little, and I haven't touched it in 2 days. You know what I'm saying? I got time. I got time all to say, you know? So it's like I wanted to come out by the summer and it will. But that week by week thing, you know what I mean? Yeah. I think what'll give you fulfillment will be to start on that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I just feel like I'm just every time I'm like turning around, it's just like I mean, don't get me wrong, I love working. I'm not like upset, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I love working on with the projects that I'm working on now, and nobody has made me feel inferior. You know what I'm saying? Or nothing,
Mm-hmm.
nothing but bad experiences.
Yeah. Nothing bad. Yeah.
Like, but you might have a point. Maybe that is the case. But then I'm dealing with am I ready for that? You know, because there's a
Right.
lot of doors.
Right.
Like I'm seeing how these projects work behind doors, and it's not from when I first walked in. I thought, you know, oh, you create 100 NFTs and you know go into a room, tell your story, and but no, there's a lot
Mm-hmm.
more that goes into
Mm-hmm.
it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Very
Facts.
daunting. But yeah.
Yeah. I feel you. You know, it is a lot more. And that's a really good touching point. It's like, mostly, you know, the key point for, and this is for the people who are like super new looking to come into the NFT space, it's like you got your NFT artist. And it doesn't even have to be artist. You have your NFT creator, because it could be art, music, a video, could be an NFT. You know, you have that, the creator. You got the business development side that'll help you like get the marketplace up if you need to do that. And then you got your marketer. And really you could just do it with the marketer and the artist, get that hype going, and then bring that, you know, business development person in. But you are right on time.
And then like that's another thing too. Like I know that I don't know. I guess there's a whole lot of other stuff that I need to figure out because maybe I'm just overthinking it. Because I'm like, these people are. I mean, everybody's all you know, like trying to help people and do stuff. But everybody, you know, people need to pay their bills.
Yeah.
That's a big thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and it's
And that
like,
circles back to GaryVee, where he's like, yeah, 49% is for me, 51% is for you. I'm gonna give you what you need to get, you know what I'm saying? But that in that giving, like 49% will be a return to me. And that's why it's like you gotta be smart about it. It's like, so it's like that's why you need to, because giving can also get exhausting if you're not seeing any return. And I knew coming into the NFT space, I was like, I knew that was the reason why I couldn't just be an NFT artist, because it was going to take way too long to like, I knew I had to build like a whole, I needed to be also marketers for other people's NFT projects and stuff like that, because that would give me the, you know what I'm saying? Using the agency, like all of that, because the agency didn't exist until 4 months ago. I have experience doing social media management, just not like running a whole thing. And so October is when it started. And yeah, it was just like, I need to make some money. We got to
right.
make money out here. Like I can't be
I mean,
just doing it.
I hear like, and that was one of the things that me and my partner were talking about too, because he was like, you know, like Gary's like, you know, you can't be leading with wanting to, you can't think about the money all the time. You gotta start thinking about
Yeah, for sure.
what you're leaving behind, and then reverse engineer from that. And like, I
Right.
totally get that. I totally
Yeah.
get that. But my partner's like, he's like, what do you mean? Like, we can't reverse engineer from that until we get some money. Like, if we don't have an income, then we can't do anything. You know what I mean? So for us, it's a little bit different, but the mindset's not all about money. But at the same
It's not
time,
about
it's like, we just know that we can't do anything without it. Like, ain't nobody coming in your door like right now. Like, it's even trying to navigate this NFT space. Like, ain't nobody knocking down on my door to be like, hey, you got a project? You know what I mean?
Right, right. Yeah, for real.
So
Yeah.
that being said, it's like, I don't know. But yeah, it's like, it
Yeah,
kind of,
yeah.
yeah. But anyway,
No, I
we
feel
could
it.
talk for hours
I
about,
know. We'll touch back too. We'll touch back because
right?
I'm like, man, yeah, this is really all really good stuff. And I feel like it's something that a lot of people are dealing with. I know I was like literally not even, I think February, I know at the beginning of the year, I made it a goal. I was like, I'm going to enter back into the NFT space. It was a whole thing, a whole thing. And you see how many people don't went ghost on the NFT space. It's not just us. And so I had to work myself up. It was like jumping off a ledge. And I was just like, ugh, we gonna see. You know what I'm saying? But
That
it
part.
was very scary for me. And even like now, like I'll still like go in rooms and like I won't go on stage. Like I won't try to talk or anything. First of all, I also don't have much to say. I do want to learn and
That
listen and
part. Like, I
be
really
a
just want to sit
sponge.
here and
But
soak it up.
yeah. But people will be happy to see like your icon, and like that'll start to bring stuff to you. You know what I'm saying? Just the fact that you're seen. Like, yeah, you got to get started there first for sure. I can say for me, being hesitant to me just joining the rooms, big difference, learning so much. And I feel like I'm back involved and projects have come to me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. hmm hmm
Yeah, I just gotta get it again. I gotta get out of my own head. It's like all this last year been is just like getting out of my own head. Like, I started the journey of like, like my, getting my mental and all this like years ago, like
hmm
17, 18. But like, well, actually long before that, I just went through an experience that made me double down and actually get my shit together, because it was either,
hmm
I worry about me, or, I
hmm
and cycles. But yeah, so like, it's just me needing to get out of my head. And this last year,
Yeah.
I don't know, I just mm.
hmm hmm I feel it. I feel
And
it.
it's like right now, I don't know, for some reason it just feels like I know it seems so, the way I explained it, but it's just like everything's just like, nothing's like adding up. Like, it's like,
hmm
it's just,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. You'll figure, I'm telling you, it's gonna come together before you know it. Like it just getting started. You know what I mean? Doing that, taking that first step, it's gonna come together. Trust me. Trust me. Because I felt it, and I know it's a lot of people out there feeling that way. Yeah.
and that's the dope for it. Like, when I'm feeling all of this, I know that people are feeling the same. But like, my best friend, for example, she wants to learn about NFTs. I'm not the great explainer, but I want to pull her in the rooms where people are great explainers. And
hmm
at the same time, like, she's gonna go through the same thing and I'm going, you know what I mean? Like, I know it. So
hmm
it's like, it's so crazy, because like, I know that a lot of people, anyway, but yeah.
hmm
And it's like, I know
hmm
that I should be sharing, like I should be like putting my daily experiences and stuff like that up more and stuff like that. And because it probably could help somebody, even though it seems like it's not really doing much now. But like, what does the chart say? I think it's less than 1% of people that are actually in the NFT space. So there's like millions of more people that are going to come and then identify with somebody like me and things that I went
Yeah.
through. I could
Yeah.
just get out my own fucking head. I'm sorry, get out my
Yeah.
own head.
Yeah.
And
Heck yeah.
I know
I'm
I'll be
telling you,
fine.
that's the majority of it. And at least you know that like we in our heads. We in our heads. Definitely. Definitely. And it's okay. Like a lot of people experience that. Cause I also like, sometimes we'll elevate people in the space in our own mind, even, you know what I'm saying? And give them more clout than it's like they're just a person. You know what I'm saying? You're
And
just a
that's what
person.
I've been
You
trying
know?
to do too lately, because I feel
Yeah.
like at the like midway through, I was like creating like these NFT celebrities in my head, and I have to
Yeah. Yeah.
remember that they're people just like me, and they begin the space just like me at one point. And don't get me wrong, there are celebrities in this, and even them, like, that's something else, that they're people, Like
Mhm.
they just got a little bit more money, perhaps a little bit more special problems with their people.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
now it boils
Yeah.
down to it. Like, but yeah.
Girl, yeah. I
But
feel you
I'm
all the
ready.
way. But I do gotta hop off. I got a call in a minute. I really gotta go to the restroom.
Okay, cool, cool, cool.
So
All right.
I will talk to you. We'll touch back Sunday. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to check out the next episode. We will be talking about optimism and most likely empathy. I like that we touched on two today. Did you like doing the two things?
Yes, I did like that. And the fact that I forgot all about the recording the podcast. And
But that's the best part. That's where you get the meat and potatoes, where it's like we just talking and it's gonna resonate. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
And it's like a little piece of me is like, please take that out. Please take that out. And another piece of me is like, girl, let it ride.
Keep it, girl. Yeah, and like I'm all about like the, you know what I mean, come as you are. As many times as I can, I will come in my, scarf or whatever, unless I got somewhere to go after. But my scarf ain't got no bra. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause it's just
And
we
that's
just
why I
chilling.
don't have a brown one either. And I was like, I hope
Girl,
you don't notice.
girl, I'm like, hey, and I kind of was like,
I was
let
like,
me, lift the camera up a little bit, but it is what it is.
oh my goodness. Like, okay, cool. I know you got another call. I'm not gonna hold you any
Okay.
longer. And when this uploads, I'll send it over. And
Okay,
did you like
awesome.
having the audio and the video, or did you just want
Yeah, that was helpful because it was easy, and then I can store the video to put it on
okay.
YouTube later. So yeah, that was
All right.
awesome.
Talk to
Thank
you
y'all. All right,
later,
let's talk.
Fred. All right,
Bye.
bye.